Hello and good morning to all my dear students. I welcome you once again in the class of English text standard 10th. Today I am going to explain you poem number 8 from your first flight textbook. The name of the poem is The Trees and written by Adrienne Rich. About poetess. Adrienne Rich was born in Baltimore, Maryland in USA in the year 1929. She is the author of nearly 20 volumes of poetry and has been called a feminist and a radical poet. What is about the poem The Trees? Let us go through first with its introduction. Introduction to the poem. Can there be a forest without trees? No. Can you ever imagine a forest where there are no trees? But what Adrienne Rich has explained to us, I am going to explain you through this video. Where are the trees in this poem and where do they go? This poem presents the picture of harm to nature by human beings by their actions. Yes, we human beings, for our selfish motive or motto, we deforest them. We do the cuttings of the trees. So that's why they lose their natural habitats. Even the birds and animals residing in the forest are put in danger. So through our human nature, through our human actions, we harm the nature, and especially here the harm is to trees. It is symbolical poem. Trees are here symbolized to women, forests are symbolized to men, and houses here are symbolized to where they are supposed to live together, where men and women are supposed to live together. So as and when trees come into your linings or into the poem, it will have the symbol to women, and wheresoever there will be forest, you are supposed to consider as a man. Okay, so this is completely symbolical poem. Until and unless you won't go through with these symbols, you won't get the proper and correct message, as the woman is associated with beauty, charm, sweetness, so as the trees are. Men, like forests, are for all their usefulness and lack any order. So forests are symbols of men. Now let us go through with the first stanza. The trees inside are moving out into the forest. The forest that was empty all these days, where no birds could sit, no insect hide, no sun bury its feet in shadow. The forest that was empty all these nights will be full of trees by morning. Now here the poetess explains to us that the trees that were inside have started moving out into the forest. Trees are the symbol for women. So who all have kept their leg outside the house? Women. Women who used to be confined to their homes have now begun to move into outside world that had so far been dominated by men only. पहले के जमाने की बात करें तो बाहर only and only जो जेन्स होते थे घर के, men होते थे, वो ही जाते थे. But what is here explained by poetess? Trees are moving outside into the forests. Okay, so women are moving out. जो women पहले completely dominated हुआ करती थी, उनको घर पे ही रहना होता था, वो बिल्कुल बाहर नहीं जा सकती थी, आज उन्होंने अपने कदम बाहर उठाए हैं. It was like a forest that had been empty all these days. पहले के जमाने में कभी भी आपको outside the world में ladies आपको नहीं दिखाई देती थी. So the forest was completely empty. Here the world was completely empty without these women. There were no trees where birds could sit or insects could hide. There was no sun that could cast its lovely shadows beneath the trees. The forest had been empty during all these dark nights, but now it will soon be morning and the forest will become full of trees. In other words, women will make their presence felt in the world of men. So, this is completely symbolical poem. Have you understood how the poetess has made the comparison of trees with women, forests with men? आज दिन तक पूरा हमारा जो वर्ल्ड था वो men से भरा हुआ था. But when the women will come out in the world, they will flourish like anything. उनका आदमी लोगों को महसूस होगा. Moving forward, all the roots earth to disengage themselves from cracks in the veranda floor. The leaves strain towards the glass, small twigs stiff with exertion, long cramped boughs shuffling under the roof like newly discharged patients, half dazed, moving to the clinic doors. Now, here the poetess in these lines wants to say that the poetess says or describes the state of women who had been struggling to gain freedom from their domestic prisons. आज दिन तक वो एक कैदी की तरह घर में ही बंधी हुई रहती थी. वो चाहती थी अपनी आजादी को और आज उन्हें वो मिली है. They were struggling to disengage their roots from the old domestic floors. Old domestic floors यानी वही घरेलू काम कर करके औरतें बाहर नहीं जा पाती थी. आज उन्हें वो चांस मिला है. Their leaves were trying to stretch themselves to sides of window glass. आपको भी पता है कि जहां पर सनरेज आते हैं, leaves या twigs, branches move towards that. आपको ये थ्योरी पढ़ाई गई है. एक वुडन बॉक्स हो, उसमें एक ही छोटा सा विंडो हो और सनलाइट अगर वहां पे गिरती हो तो पौधा उस विंडो में से बाहर निकलता है. So their twigs had become stiff because to constant exertion. वही काम रूटीन कर करके वो exertion में आ गई हैं. Their bows had become cramped because of shuffling long under the roof. They looked like newly discharged patients from a clinic. It is compared with a patient who has been discharged from the hospital, half dazed. अभी भी उसके अंदर completely ताकत नहीं होती है, पर जैसे ही उसको डिस्चार्ज मिलता है, he is very eager to move away from that hospital. He is very much happy enough to move out of these four walls. They looked dazed while moving out of the clinic doors. All these word pictures vividly describe the state and the struggle of women for their liberty. Next, I sit inside, doors open to the veranda, writing long letters in which I scarcely mention the departure of forest from the house. The night is fresh. The whole moon shines in a sky still open. The smell of leaves and lichen still reaches like a voice into the rooms. Here, the poetess sits writing long letters in a room which opens onto the veranda. She doesn't mention in them about the trees moving out from inside to the empty forest. As she writes, she notices it a fresh full moon night. The moon shines in the open sky. She can smell the leaves and lichens on the trees. Their fragrance comes to her like a voice. The fragrance fills the room like whispering of people. It also fills the head of the poetess. However, there will be total silence in the house the next morning because even the women have kept their leg outside in the world along with men. The smell of leaves and flowers was inviting women to come out of their rooms and enjoy the air of freedom. So, like this way, it has been explained by the poetess by symbolizing trees with women with and forests with men. My head is full of whispers which tomorrow will be silent. Listen, the glass is breaking. The trees are stumbling forward into the night. Winds rush to meet them. The moon is broken like a mirror. Its piece flesh now in the crown of the tallest oak. As I explained you earlier as well, here the poet gives a call to all women to come out of their houses and enjoy the air of freedom. She is very much happy to see the women coming out from their four walls. She is having lots of suggestions for them to come out, but she may not live long to convey them through her writings. She says that some of the trees that are women have already started moving out of the house. They have broken their traditional chain. यानी वो अभी घर पे नहीं बैठे हैं जो आज दिन तक they were dominated, उन्हें घर पे ही रहना पड़ता था, उन्हें अपने कस्टम्स को, अपने रूल्स को, अपने रिलीजियस को ये इंपॉर्टेंस देना होता था कि नहीं, हम औरतें हैं, हमें घर पे ही रहना पड़ेगा. ये आज उन्होंने ब्रेक कर दिया है. They have broken the chains of living inside the four walls. They are moving forward in the night. They are not yet certain where they would reach, but they have begun to experience the freshness of the air. The woman in the sky fills them with a bright hope. It looks like a broken mirror as seen through the crown of a tall oak. Now, figures of speech. The trees inside are moving out into the forest. Antithesis, metaphor and hyperbole. Antithesis, two opposite words are there, inside and out. Metaphor, because there is indirect comparison of trees along with women. And hyperbole, because the trees from inside the house are moving out. The forest that was empty all these days. Hyperbole, because it is overstatement that forest was empty. Where no birds could sit, no insect hide. Litotes, because negation is there and repetition of the word no is there. No sun bury its feet in shadows. Personification, hyperbole and litotes. Personification, because sun is given the human quality of having its feet. Hyperbole, because it is overstatement that the sun has feet and buries them in the shadow. Next is LITOTES because negation of no is there. The forest that was empty all these nights will be full of trees morning by morning. Antithesis because empty and full are the two opposite words. Alliteration because of the sound of F, that is forest and full. Next is was and will. Like this way it is alliteration. Even the sound of T, that is th, the, that, these is also there. Moving next, all night the roots work to disengage themselves from the cracks in the veranda floor. Personification and synecdoche. Personification, the roots are given the human quality that they are going to disengage out of the veranda floor. Synecdoche because the part of root stands for trees. The leaves strain towards the glass. Synecdoche, leaves are the part of trees. Small twigs stiff with exertion. Synecdoche, again twigs are the part of trees. Long cramped bows shuffling under the roof like newly discharged patients, half dazed, moving to the clinic doors. Simile, because the use of word like is there, and synecdoche is bows stand for trees. I sit inside, doors open to the veranda, writing long letters in which I scarcely mention the departure of the forest from the house. Metonymy, alliteration and personification. Metonymy, forest represents the trees in the house. Alliteration because the sound of F, that is forest, and from is there, and even the sound of D, that is doors, and departure is there. L, long and letters. Personification because trees are given the qualities of human being. The night is fresh, the whole moon shines in a sky still open. Hyperbole because this is overstatement that the whole moon shines in a sky that is still open. The smell of leaves and lichen still reaches like a voice into the rooms. Simile, the word like is there. My head is full of whispers which tomorrow will be silent. Antithesis, hyperbole, synecdoche and alliteration. Antithesis because opposite words whisper and silent is there. Hyperbole because the head is full of whispers. Synecdoche, head is the part of body. And alliteration because the sound of W, that is whisper, which and will is there. Listen, the glass is breaking. Apostrophe because direct address is made to someone who is not present. The poetess says listen, but to whom she is saying it is indirect. The trees are stumbling forward into the night. Personification and hyperbole. Personification, trees are given the human quality, and hyperbole because the trees are stumbling forward. They are moving forward. Winds rush to meet them. Again hyperbole because it is overstatement, and personification because wind is given the quality of human being. The moon is broken like a mirror. Its pieces flash now in the crown of the tallest oak. Simile because like is there, and again there is hyperbole. The statement is overstatement that the moon is like a broken mirror shining in parts. So these were all figures of speech. Now your today's task is, I have displayed you on the screen main question number 1, 2 and 3. You are supposed to write it down in your fair notebook. Write answers of only these questions which are displayed on the screen. Write down figures of speech in your textbook with pencil. Keep your work updated. Thank you and have a nice day.